Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a Cloudy Sheep and we are playing Fate of the World. It's 2060 and we are now in a situation where resource extraction, resource production is becoming a serious issue. We've got messages about peak coal, peak gas, peak oil, all of these things happening at the same time. We are struggling to keep up production, especially of gas and oil. Coal, we are a bit more acceptance of it going down. But yeah, oil production and gas production is something that we do need to keep up. So the biggest supplier of that is of course the Middle East. Let's briefly see through the news over here. So our industry and household regulations do seem to be working. That of course is very nice. We are expanding natural gas production down here. I think we want to expand oil production instead, and we'll probably keep on shifting these things one after another. The emissions of these guys up here seem to be going up, and that is a little bit of an issue. Most of that does seem to come from industry, from energy use and industry. So yeah, we do need to deal with this a little bit. Can we actually maybe do taxation over here? It does seem like we cannot. We should think about land and foil protection over here, but that is something that we need to deal with in a little bit. China, still one of the biggest polluters in total. Let's briefly have a look at the annual emissions over here. They are going up again, mostly due to the industry. Energy seems to be somewhat stabilizing. And commerce is coming up, but not too drastically. And this down here I think is agriculture, right? So agriculture is alright. Transportation seems to be starting to be an issue, but really industry is the most important one. Can we pick industrial regulations? I think they are finished actually. We are converting, we are picking nuclear as a choice for energy, so let's briefly look at how useful that is. We are not using coal, so that's good to see. Renewables are in the mix. Then why is the industry so pollutive? I think it's probably because it's using a lot of coal. Yeah, I mean all of this coal consumption must be due to the industry, because we're not using any in energy production, right? So yeah, the coal used over here really seems to be going mainly towards the industry, which is using half energy, half coal, and a little bit of oil. So I think what we do need to do is over here go for the coal-free industry and try to reduce emissions through that. We're still converting nuclear power, and we are committing to more nuclear power, so that's good to see. On the other hand, afforestation starts, tech is on the rise, cropland management is going up, so that's good to see. GDP is also increasing due to that. Industrial carbon reductions are finally finished, so that is very nice to see. And uranium efficiency is going up, so that is excellent. Let's briefly look at the technology tree, because we do want to get access to both photovoltaic cells and advanced turbines. I think especially turbines would be really nice, so we do need to acquire the aerosols, and then can do the next thing after that. Right, so China is dealt with. India, Middle East. We should probably think about acquiring some of these items over here as fast as we can. And you know what, to that extent I think... Okay, let's firstly deal with Oceania. I think you should probably be fine. Deforestation has been halted. High yield breakthrough, so that's nice to see. Aerosol engineering. That's alright. Everything is pretty good. Yeah, everything is very good. So yeah, Oceania is fine. Japan, how are your news? Yeah, all of these breakthroughs are looking very fine, so that's good to see. I think we can actually drop this for a little while and deploy Texas instead. Why can I not deploy... Wait a minute, I should be able to deploy Turbine Texas. No. Has your economy collapsed or something? Your GDP per capita is fine. Your HDI is fine. Your total GDP seems to be fine. Your commerce is alright. No turbine tax? Huh. That's a little bit discerning. I'm not sure why that is not an available option, but we'll have to think about how we get more money then. Because I'd love that to be used. Could use the conversion over here, I think that might be nice. But yeah. North America then. You acquired the advanced geoengineering, so that's good to see. There's a high draw chance, that's not quite as nice. You have signed up to that treaty, so that is good. And we are trying to reduce the emissions to 85% below 2020 values, so that is very, very good. It will hold back the economy, but you know what, we have built up quite a little bit of the cap and trade basics already, so that's good to see. We're declining the use of coal power, which I think is going to be important. We are still researching quite a bit of things. Fourth generation nuclear conversion, that's good. Protect land and soils. Cap and trade emissions. How far are we along in using less coal? A little bit. Renewables mix is increasing dramatically. How much energy are we actually using? Yeah, about 5 terawatts, so that is still significant. So it might make sense for us to acquire the advanced turbines. It's going to increase our efficiency a lot and increase our potential. It would be 20 years, but all in all that's a very important technology. Over here you are acquiring that, so that's good. Is there anything that we can drop out of? I think the conversion technology we might drop out for now and acquire the turbines, and then the photovoltaic cells will come up in 10 years anyway, and I think that's going to be alright. Right, Europe. How are your news looking? Oh, everything is very fine. And you are now on balance, so I think we can drop the eco-awareness campaign. That's actually very, very lovely. Old reactors are being replaced, so that's also very good to see. Have you actually signed up to the trading scheme? That's fine. Your annual emissions are going down quite significantly, I think. Yeah. Industry is still emitting quite a bit. How's that? Industrial emissions. Energy, industry. Are you using coal? A little bit. Not that much. Right, let's have a look at the technology. Photovoltaic cells in 10 years. Advanced turbines are way out, so let's... yeah, I think that's the right one. So let's try to get there and see whether we can't acquire that. And this again, in 10 years, I think that's fine. We don't need to actively buy it because we're so low on money. India. Drilling research, that's nice to see. Road to meat-free future, that's good to see because we are losing much less water, and the water stress is dramatically over here, as we can see over here, so that's not good. Good. Getting green investment capital, so that's good to see. Litany of illness, toxicity density, yeah, not good, and you're now very unstable. Ooh. Yeah, your healthcare is really, really, really bad. 41% sick, so we definitely do need to provide medical welfare program. I think you're not using any coal anymore in your energy production, at least. So that is good. Yeah, that is actually very fantastic. You're mostly using oil, which I don't think is necessarily that much better, but it's still a little bit better. We could acquire super tensile materials, which would increase the capital growth and the capital index. I think that would be good. Although it's max capital growth. CCS, engineering. I think this is a good choice. Just make sure you're growing a little bit quicker. and that should be good. Southern Africa, another very important country. Cropland management, you're doing fine. Deforestation held, that's good. You're signing up to carbon trade, so you'll also be receiving some investments, so that's nice to see. I don't think there were any negative news, right? Yeah, not significant ones. So acquiring smart grids down here would actually be very nice, because it would reduce the energy usage all along, increase GDP. Let's do it. It's very, very expensive because we're spreading a lot of technology, but I think it's crucial. And you know what, with India, one thing I kind of overlooked, of course, was the very unstable thing over here. So how's water stress? Very significant still. I think you need to acquire new technology. You definitely need the water program. Vegetarian revolution is important. You do need the investments. Let's get rid of the biochar for now, even though that means lower water usage is being forfeited. But I think we need the security assistance, even though it's yet more expensive. Anyway, let's have a look at Russia. You are unstable, not very unstable. We've researched a couple of things. Drought is increasing by significant amounts actually, so that's not good. But you are getting reforestation, you're getting smart grids, so that's good. We don't need to provide more defenses, I think. Just if you could... Do we need to increase the gas capacity over here? Are you actually using any nuclear technology? Electricity. Uranium mix, 10%. Coal mix, gas mix. Now, I think these are the most important bits that we can use over here. Can we use Turbine-Tex over here? We can't. Let's use industrial carbon rex, and I think that's going to be important and fine. That does leave us with, I think we did North America, Europe, Japan, Oceania, so let's have a look at Latin America, which is unstable, but seems to be doing alright. So deforestation has halted, we're fighting drought, that's all good. Energy drive in the industry, all very good choices. I think we can increase the... unbalanced. We're going to go for business and household carbon rex, so just increase your energy efficiency. North Africa is stable, so I like to see that. Vegetarian revolution is in full swing. Defending water stress, still a big issue. Ooh, and you're turning to coal. That's not good. And more storms. How are your storm defenses looking? They're actually alright, so it's good, I think. So what we could do over here is higher education. On your water stress level, there's not much we can do about that right now. Smart grids are a bit too expensive for my taste right now. How's your land forestation looking? I think you signed up everything, and your forest change is still very negative, so probably we need to play that at some point. Excuse me. Could switch to organic farming for even less water usage, but agricultural drop in GDP, I don't think that's a good idea. How's your economy looking? Agriculture is still very significant. On the other hand, the water stress level. Yeah, but right now the vegetarian revolution is going on, and while that is going on, we are receiving less money from that element, so I don't think that's a good idea. We could go for higher yield crops. If we have a look at that briefly over here, it would increase food yields and lower the water use. I think for North Africa it's probably something that we want to do in India. And India does have very high water stress, doesn't it? Yeah, 44%. Nearly as high as over here, but the population over here is much lower. So yeah, I think we can live with that for now over here. We could do the carbon cap and trade emissions. We just shouldn't pick that in too many countries. Otherwise there's some leakage is going to occur, and that wouldn't really be nice. Job sharing. Nope, sorry, not affordable. I think anything would be good. Just improve defenses against Rod. You know what, let's switch to organic farming. I think it's going to be alright. Less water usage is going to be a good and cheap alternative over here. That does leave us with a little bit of money left. So what do we want to do with this? I think spreading more technology would be really the most important bit. Let's briefly have a look maybe on the economy all in all. So where's agriculturally the most important element? Yeah, I mean China continues to be so important, as does Southeast Asia. You are acquiring new technology. India is acquiring new technology. Maybe we should do this over here rather. You're balanced, you're very stable. Oh, I didn't think we should actually check the news. Smart grids have been researched, so that's nice. Advanced drilling. I mean, we do have this over here, right? You are cranking with the advanced turbine, so that's good to see. With this amount of money, what could we do? I'm really still baffled by the fact that we can't pick Tobin taxes over here. Not entirely sure why that is. You know what, instead of this, we could probably play the business and household regs. We could play the Tobin tax in Europe, but Europe doesn't like us enough. You do like us. How's your forest? I mean, forests are alright over here. Vegetarian revolution. All of these super important. How's the economy looking? Total GDP? Yeah, it's stable. But it's growing in terms of industry, so that's obviously not quite as nice. Do you want to buy a new slot? Any particular card that we could buy for about 15 bucks in China? That would be great. Ooh, we could Tobin tax you. Yeah, definitely. Let's Tobin tax China. That does give us much more money. So, super happy about that. I think we can spend that in Southeast Asia, buy a new slot over here, and try to get you to grow your industry a little bit. What do we want to do for that? I think what we could do is acquire new technologies, and that would actually be super helpful. Do you have any technologies? Any oil, any resources, and that you would have over here? No, not really. So there's no point in acquiring better drilling, but I do think there would be a point in acquiring aerosols and then better turbines. So let's do that. Acquire aerosol engineering, and that's very nice. Let's end the turn. Oh dear, 2.1. So 2 degrees of warming. That means there'll be more disasters. Gas production is peaking, oil production is on the rise again. Coal production is rising again, that's not quite as important. China is decreasing. Yeah, everything... Oh, ooh. Russia seems to be collapsing a little bit. China really dislikes us, India likes us a little bit better. Everyone else is sort of neutral, including Oceania, which is paying Tobin taxes, so that is fantastic news. But yeah, 2 degrees of warming is not nice. I think we really need to deploy some more technology. Smart meters, good to see. Uranium being replaced. Stabilizing, you're very stable. Consumer is satisfied. Super tensile materials researched and widely adopted, so good to see in Japan that your technology is progressing further. It's also good that we are getting towards benthic depressurization, because that will allow us to procure new sources of gas, although they are somewhat dangerous, so we need to be at least a little bit careful in doing that. Let's deploy sulfates over here. Over here we might do that as well. Let's see if there's anything that is... Oh, you're still doing that, so that's good to see. Old generators being replaced, advanced turbines researched, good to see. Reforestation, also very nice to see. Turbine you don't dislike. China, of course, you do dislike. Turbine I guess, yes, but agriculture, ooh, less GDP. Broad, strong tech advances, water stress, coal is being replaced, so that's good. More forestry, and you have acquired the aerosol engineering, so we'll definitely acquire the advanced turbines now for more efficiency in everything. So that's going to be very useful, I think, and that probably means your emissions are coming down for the first time, sort of. Yes, especially in the industry where we're not using that much coal anymore. So I think this card is, where is it? This card is really paying itself off, so that's good to see. Do we want to continue to commit to nuclear, or do we want to maybe acquire more technologies over here? I think acquiring photovoltaic cells might be a good idea. Although super tensile materials also is very nice for more economic growth. Let's do the photovoltaic cells first, and that should be alright. So we did Oceania, Japan and China. Let's do North America, so first world. Advanced turbines, that's very nice. Livestock, medicine, North America, heading in the right direction. More healthcare spending, less sickness, less literacy. Good. Very nice, so you're on track for your emission targets. So that's very nice, and revenue from the sales of emissions is permitting some subsidies. That's good to see. Nuclear technology is being replaced, or by newer technology, and so that's good to see. And advanced turbines are increasing our technology, and apparently we don't need coal. We're not using coal power anymore in this mix over here. That's very lovely. Indeed, you're using a lot of renewables. How is that? Where does that come from? Mostly from biomass, it appears, and from hydro. Interesting. How can we do something about the biomass? I think there is something about toxicity, forests. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for agriculture, biomass. Doesn't show anywhere, does it? No. Alright, so but that might mean that we want to acquire higher yields of photovoltaic cells. So this is done for. Are you using coal in industry? We are, but not huge amounts, so I think that's fine. Could think about either of these things. Turbine tax I don't think is appropriate right now. Late retirement might be nice just to keep the economy growing a little bit over here. Don't think we ever signed water management over here, so is there any problem with that? No, there's not. We are protecting. Things are going really well in North America, so I'm really happy about that. When are we getting these technologies? Oh, you are getting that in 5 years anyway, so we really don't need to acquire that. And we are also getting a high yield crop, so we don't need to acquire either of these technologies. Very happy about that. Right, so you know what? I think we can go for popular technologies. Deploy sulfur aerosols. Really, that's popular down here? You're all consumerist, including Japan. Yeah. Could expand various means of production. Transport efficiency investments, always a nice thing. Has it become more expensive? Tighten borders. You know what, I think what we want to do is switch the transport to electricity now. It is an important goal, and that would be rather helpful for us. Anything else? I don't think there's anything else that we really need. Could bid for the headquarters. Would allow us to do some space things, which of course are very cool, but then again, you know, this is a consumerist region, so we don't probably need to do probably don't need to do this. I think on a global level we saw that the gas production is peaking. North America does have some gas, but it's not the most accessible, so let's maybe not do that. Yeah, really sort of at a loss what to do here. I want to do something that is not too expensive then. Eco-awareness, I don't think is the answer. Reduce working week, encourage private investors. Less funding from region. Let's do transport efficiency. I think these two things work very well, very nicely together. Europe, how are you doing? Oh, everything is going well, I think. Heading in the right direction. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Reforestation. Storm damage, super tensiles. Nice. Any other technology that we really want to acquire over here? The advanced turbines? This is going to be 3 years. This is going to be acquired automatically, so let's do turbines. And I think that's a good thing to do. Do we need to continue to protect the forest over here? I don't think so. It's rather expensive. I would rather like to do something else. Late retirement, eco-awareness, all of that is fine. We don't need to do that. Biochar, improved defenses. Is there no issue over here? It doesn't seem to be, so it's probably alright. Nuclear conversion. We could do vegetarian revolution. Crops have lower emissions. I mean, it's alright, but not super important. Let's do coal-free industry. I think that's a good choice. India. Perpetual war child. Yes, more sickness, more water stress. So we need more wealthy regions in carbon trade. Less stability. Pesticides, but super tensile materials and vegetarian revolution is nice. How's your medical situation looking? A little bit better than before, so that's good to see. And your emissions, just look at that, so high. Yeah, your energy, your industry, it's all jumping up like crazy. How does the economy look like though? Per capita 8,000. That's a good shift over here. Yeah, so we are on the way to getting to the 12,000, which we really need. Can we do private investments down here? For industry, encourage private investments. Would mean require getting less funding from this region, but I think we are getting very little from India anyway. Yeah, so let's do this. I think that's a good choice. And then what we can do is probably acquire more technology. Turbines. Photovoltaic. Yeah, let's acquire aerosol engineering. High yield crops, I don't think are that important. Let's subsidize biochar because your water stress is really not that great. And we need to get either Oceania or Japan to sign up to the new research thingy. So biotech, do we really need third generation biofuels? I think we can reduce this over here right now, and on the other hand get you to sign up to carbon and trade recs, and that should be fine. China is still paying the token tax, so that's okay too. So yeah, that does leave us at a couple of countries. We're at the 30-minute mark, but I think it might make sense to just finish at least these 3 countries and then get along with that. So Southern Africa, unstable, austerity day, yeah, the development fails, reforestation, smart grids researched, more storms. I think you're now reforesting, right? Yeah, so let's get rid of this super expensive technology, let's encourage private investments, and let's push you to, what did I say? Was it storms? Yeah, so storm defenses are nice. Yeah, I think that's alright. Northern Africa, similarly, attack at a crawl, peace reigns, vegetarian program is very useful though, and your water stress level should have significantly decreased. You are struggling with your protect land and soil forest though. What did I just see? Switch to conventional farming. Okay, no, we don't want to do that. Might want to do a higher education. You are eco-aware, so we don't need to do this. Job sharing might be a good choice. Or acquiring technologies. Smart grids, maybe. I mean, your emissions really are very low, so it's not that we need to do this necessarily over here. You kind of like us. Let's simply do improved drought defenses. I think will be helpful to defend you over here. And over here you acquired geoengineering things, so I think that means we can acquire drilling, advanced turbines, so that's good. Deforestation slows but doesn't stop. This is failing again, so we just need to sign up more people. And the vegetarian program is very useful. So let's get something more over here. Where do you are in terms of, yes, you broke the $12,000 marks just barely, but you did do so. So that's very, very helpful. That does allow us to play these 2 cards, which are very, very effective at dealing with these issues. So electricity over here mostly goes into, well, both things really. So let's start out with the private household regs over here, and yeah, that should be a good combination. Japan, I think, you know what, let's buy another item in Japan, and let's sign you up to cap and trade as well. That leaves us at 4 rich countries and 3 developing countries, I think. So I think that's good. Yeah, that should be sufficient, I think. So yeah, I'd like to see that. Anything else we want to play over here? So we've got 4 cards in Southeast Asia. I think this card is really too good to pass up, but I'm slightly worried that because as you can see, the industry and commerce are reducing their performance if you're playing that. So that means that there is a little bit lower incentives for these guys to do this. I'm worried that the economy will collapse a little bit if we are playing both cards at the same time. But you won't know what then again. If that happens, we'll place more cards over here, and that will be helpful too. Right. So, Northern Africa. Anything else we can do over here? Let's switch out these cards. Encourage private investments. And that should be okay just to increase your capabilities over here. How does it look in terms of transportation? You're not using electricity yet, but I think you'll do so very soon. Japan is fine, Middle East is fine. Are you stable? You're very unstable. You're stable, stable, unstable, even. Even is good. Latin America is very unstable. And you are reforesting things, right? Yeah. So let's drop out of this briefly and provide you with security assistance, and that might be helpful. And you know what, let's actually drop out of this as well and get this back in, and that means we have just enough money to really be in a comfortable position and end this episode here. So we played everything, we have exactly enough money. Emissions are going up still, population is going up still, temperature is going up still. So we are far from being in a comfortable position. But what really gives me hope is this graph over here, seeing how in countries where we really pushed things down, the emissions came down very drastically, and I think that's a very nice place to be in, and hopefully go on this way. Thank you very much for watching. See you again next time. Bye bye.